Mathematics 1. So last time we have learned about the chain rule for the ordinary differential equation, single independent variable. So if you have y equals to fx and this x is equal to gt, we call them opposite function. For this function, if you want to differentiate dy dt, you can write like this: dy dt equals to dy dx times dx dt. The same here for two or more independent variable, we can use this. Okay, composite function of two variables. If z is equal to function of xy, is differentiable and x and y are differentiable function of t, then z is differentiable function of t. Okay, then you can write dz dt equals to del z del x dx dt del z del y dy dt. Remember, we have del, we have d. We are mixing both. Why? I will show you. Okay, I will show you this. Okay, you see this theorem. Okay, z function of xy. Your y function of t. Your x also function of t, as mentioned here. Okay, so to find dz dt, okay, why d? Okay, this is because the d is directly differentiate to t. Okay, the z is differentiate to t, dz dt. That also depend on t here. So we only have one independent at the end. Forget about the middle first. We have only one independent at the end. Last part. Last part of the differentiation, we have only t for both sides. That's why we have to differentiate z respect to dt, not del. Okay, not this, not partial. It is d. So dz dt will be, so to reach here, you have to cross this x and y. So that's why you have del z. And you have d dt. Okay. See here, y. Y here is del. It is partial actually. I just call it del, and d. Okay, this z is depend on x and y. So this z is depend on xy when we reach here, when you are here. So when you are here, you have z and y. Okay, so that's why you use del to show that this z depend on xy. But when you reach here, it's only t. That's why dx dt. Okay? Is x depend on t. Plus, y plus, because you have two branches. So you have to consider all. Del y. Okay. So dz dt is del z del x dx dt del z del y dy dt. So remember, don't confuse with this. Can. Okay. Okay. X. Okay, try to do this example. Okay, given that fx goes to x cubed y over 4, find dz dt. So let's say I let z. So it is easy to me to classify the function of x, z, and t. So your z is depend on xy, right? Then your x depend on t. Your y depend on. So they want you to find the z as per question. Okay. So again, to reach here, you have to move here. So z is depend on x. X depend on t. So, but you have to plus because you have two branches. Plus. So you already have the formula. Now you have to substitute. So del z del x. Okay. Z is del z del x will be 3x squared y to the power 4. Del x del t will be, see what is x. So your x is 3 to the power of 2. Y is 3 to the power of 5. Next question. So del x del t will be 2t squared. Time plus del z del y will be, yeah, del z del y will be 4y cubed times with dy dt will be 5 e to the power of 4. Okay, and this you simplify, you can get x 6 squared over 4 20 cube y to the power of 3. Okay, then you have to change this in terms of t. So your x is t squared and your y is t to the power 5. X is t squared. Y is t to the power 5. 20 squared remain. 20. Your x is t squared. Y is 4, 5. So this is 6 t to the power 4 t to the power of, this is 20. So 4 plus 20 plus 2. E to the power of 2 plus 15 plus 4 is 26 t. You have to try to add first. 24, 26. 6 t to the power of 26 plus 20 power of 17 plus 4. We check. We have to check again because sometimes we are wrong. Yeah, it is wrong. So to check where I'm wrong. So if I see here, x squared y to the power 4. Yeah, here is 2t. So here dx dt,
20x to the power of 3, Doctor.
which one? Which one?
20 x to the power of 3. You should t squared bracket then power 3.
Okay.
20t.
See here, del x del t should be 2t, not t2 squared. Yeah, this is wrong. Okay. If you differentiate dx dt should be 2t. Here. There is one wrong. Another one is 4x. We have 3t squared. Okay, see why. T cube. Okay, I think I have copied the wrong question. Okay, y equals to t cube, not t to the power 5. That's why wrong. Okay, y is t cube, so I have to do it again. Okay, I have to do it again. So here will be 3t squared. So everything will be wrong. So remember, everybody can do wrong. We just have to check. In, so in. Okay. So after we have done this, you can substitute your x is squared, y is t cube. Or okay. 3 times 2, 6. 6 is equal 4 plus 12 plus 1. Y minus. That's right. Okay. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 to the power of 9 plus 2 plus 2. This is 16. 17 is 2. 11. 13. Okay, something wrong?
X cube.
Which one cube?
For y cube, x cube.
Which part?
For t cube. For
Oh, x cube. Here is cube, right? 3.
inside also.
Okay, t squared 3. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, 9 plus 6 plus 11, 13. 15, 17. Okay, I think now is correct. So this is 8, 6 to the power of 17. 12 t to the power of 17. So you get 18 t to the power of 8. Okay, can? So can everyone understand this? It's okay to do mistake, but check again. Of course, for your test or final, you don't have any answer, but just try. Okay, can? Understand, everyone? Okay. Okay. Okay, let me use the spin fields of name. I have to take your name. Say in Telegram. Just take picture, upload the picture. Can shall we?
Yes, can. Alert once I finish.
Okay. So I give you about 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Squared, x equals to t squared, y equals to sin t. Find dz dt. Okay, so to find this, so dz dt will be dz del x, the dx dt, del z del y, dy dt. Okay, so let me like this. Try to solve. Z function of and your y x is t, y also t. Dz dt will be dy dt plus x. You can put x first. You can put this in the left hand side. So del z del y, then y, then your dy dt will be cos x, cos t, sorry, plus del z del x with 3 x dt will be, check is it correct? Check with your final answer. X squared to t to y cos t. Okay, so that is correct. Then substitute this y with sin t, cos t, x will be t squared, squared to t. Okay, so 2 cos t sin t is sin 2t. This is 6 t to the power 4 plus 1 5. Okay, it's correct. So I think it's easy, right? Okay, next. What if we have 3 independent variables? It's the same only. Same. We just add some branches. Some of the researchers, they call this tree diagram. W, X, Y, Z. W is function of X, and your X is function of T. So they ask you to find dW, then you have to cross these three things in the intermediate section. So you must have del W del X dt. Plus del W del Y plus del W del Z dt. So you must cross these three. Okay? Then you can get dw dt. Okay? Everything. X, Y, and Z. Okay? So I like video. To understand this thing, you can do this. Okay, these are another thing, different. Theorem. Okay, your Z is function of U and V. Your U function of X and Y. And your V is function of X and Y. Actually can be anything according to the question. Okay, so, okay, you see here, Z depend on U and V. U depend on X and Y. Same here. Everything is in two independent variables. Your Z also is end up with X and Y. See? So everything should be del. See? Del, del, del. So to find del Z del X, okay, to reach here, you have to cross the intermediate section. So which means you have del Z del U, del U del X, plus, so we have 2x, right? Del Z del V, del V, done for X. Y plus, because we have 2 branches. So if we have 3, you have to plus again. Then del Z del Y, del Z U, del plus del Z del V. It's the same. Just you have to know the concept. Okay? Some books they will start from left and right. Okay, how about this? See here. From this question, W U V R. We have 3 now. U function of X, Y, Z. So now you end up with the 3. So you have 3 things you have to add. So let's say del W del X. Why del? Everything is more than. Every intermediate you have more than one independent variable. Will be del W del U. Del U del X. Plus del W del V. Del V over there. Plus del W del R. R, right? UVR. I just put big R. Okay. Del R. So if this continue, you have to see the question. Sometimes they will trick you. Let's say W is function of UVR, but the u only function of x. So you don't need to put y and z. Sometimes v only function of z, which means you don't need to put the xy. So sure you know this. Okay. Okay, you see here, u is function of x, y, z. Your x is function of RST. Your y also RST. And your z is RST. So everything is here. Okay. Try to do this. Pass your question. Is y. Your x is RST. Your z also del u del s only. So we just consider in the middle. So del u del s del u over del s, sorry, del u over del x over, okay, plus del u over del y plus del u over del z over del. Then you have to find the differentiate del u del x. So from here you have to differentiate del u del x. When you differentiate del u del x, y and z are the constant. Del u del s, del x, sorry. Del u del x will be 4x3 plus 3y. So this everything will be 0. Okay, then what else? Del x del s. See here. Del x del s. So r will be constant, e to the 3 will be constant. S will be removed. Then we have del u del y. Del u del y. So del u del y will be x over 4 z to the power of 3 plus z to the power of 3, 3y. And then del u del s. Del u del s sorry, this is del y. Del y del s. Del s will be r, e is constant, s will be 2s. What else we have? Del u del z. Del u del z. Z will be x over 4, y will be constant, 0. Have y squared 3 z 2. 3 times z2. So this is 3. 3 y squared z squared. Lastly, we have del z del s. Del z del s. So if z is r squared. Okay. I just substitute here. Okay. Just leave this exercise to you. But I already explained the concept. Okay. So do you have any question until now? For chain rule. Do we have to add dx, dy, dz? I don't understand. Which one? Ahmad Rana, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay, hi, hello.
Yeah, doctor, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from Pakistan.
Okay, yes, Ahmad.
Doctor, I am a bit confused. Actually, after we calculate uh, del, del, del z over del x, del z over del y, and del z over uh,
Uh,
del
can you specify the question?
z.
Which
Yeah,
one?
I'm saying like after calculating after calculating all the three values, do we have to add them at last?
These three.
Yeah, these three, del w or del x, del w or del y,
Oh,
del
no
w
need
or
to add this because it's according to the question. Let's say, like this, they ask you to find del u del s, right? Just focus in del u del s. Okay, for this question, you see, we have three things, right? You can do del u del r, del u del s, del u del t, but they only ask you to find del u del s.
only
So
one
you have
value.
to understand.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, good. You just to add for these three, not add this. So they may ask you to find del u del r, del u del s, or del u del t. Only that. Okay, Rana?
Yes, okay, doctor. Thank you.
Okay, good. So others, do you have any question?
Okay, so after we find the del u del x until the del z del s,
Who is
so
that?
we need to carry Ilkwan, sir.
Hari Ikwan.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Yes?
after we differentiate it, we need to substitute the x and y, right? So can we, before we, instead of what we say, we substitute the RSET, we substitute the value into the x, y, z.
You want to
Then we
substitute this
substitute
first?
the, can we do that, sir?
You want to substitute this first and then differentiate?
No, after differentiate, we substitute the value.
This R, S, and T.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to differentiate first. Okay. Differentiate everything. So you will get something like this, right? You will add this, right? This, add this, this, add this, this, add this, and the last one. And then you can substitute. You have to substitute after differentiate. Remember that. For this question. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay, don't do it earlier. Don't substitute this first. R here 2, S1, 0. Okay? Okay, others? Is it okay? Okay, so next is implicit function. So function of two variables z equals fxy, with f equals to 0 defines y implicitly as the differentiable function, then divide dx will be negative x over negative. Okay. This formula is make you easier to solve dy dx. Okay, so dy dx is one independent variable. Then this is negative fx, which means differentiate this respect to x, your y will be constant. Differentiate respect to y, the x will be constant. But make sure you must let the function equals to 0. Okay. Find dy dx. The question asks you to find dy dx. Okay. Question asks you to find then you have to let fxy to, okay, usually what I do is I will let this to 0. I will bring everything to the left, or -3 left. So I will make it the right hand side 0 as mentioned here. Here, 0. Then I will let big F X Y, big F X Y be question. Okay, then they already give us formula. You don't need to do anything. You just follow the formula. Is Y here, Y will be here. X here, X will be here. And we have to put the negative sign. So dy dx negative 1 for this cross. Okay, so negative just put aside. You have to differentiate this with respect to x. When you differentiate this function with respect to x, the y will be constant. Is it 6x 2y 0? Correct? Fy 2x plus 2y. So don't remember to put the bracket because we're involving the negative sign. You can cancel out the 2. Okay. Y squared. Okay, see anything mistake there? Okay. This is y cubed. Again, check. This is 2y squared. Sorry. It's 2y. It will be 3y squared. So here is 3y squared. So we cannot do anything. Okay. Okay. Any question for this? Okay, I move. Okay. We try to do this. Okay. Same thing. They ask you to find dy dx. So this will be your y. So they already give you in this form. If not, you have to bring to the left everything. So to find dy dx, formula will be negative f. So fx be okay, right first. Y cube sine y cos x. So f or f subscript x or del f del x same. This is same as del f over. This is 3x squared sine y plus cos will be negative sign, right? So fy will be x cubed cos y will be cos x. Substitute only. It's easy. Sometimes you don't need to simplify. What? See. Remember to put the bracket. Okay, what if we have 3 independent variables? So it is same only. Del z del x, because we have 3 independent variables, will be, remember, if z here, z will be here. X here, x will be here. So when you differentiate f with respect to x, your y and z will be constant. When you differentiate respect to z, x and y will be constant. It's just the same. Del z del y. Del z del y will be fy negative fy over. So why we don't have del z over del z? Can anyone guess? What will be del z over del z? We have del z del x, we have del z del y, but why we don't have del z del x, z? Why? Yes, because it is equals to 1. Thank you, Hari Kwan. So that's the same. You see here, but anything, whatever question, you have to make fxy equals 0, which means you have to bring everything on the right hand side to the left hand side. Make it the right hand side 0. Then you start to differentiate according to the question. They ask you to find del z del x, which means negative fx fz. Del z del y, which means negative fy fz. So to find the fx, okay, fx, you have to see this. Differentiate respect to x means z and y are constant. Okay, so this will be to y, this will be to z, this is minus to x, 0, 0. Because you are differentiating this with respect to x, you will get this. But it's the same, just follow the order and substitute. Actually, you no need to solve, okay? But good if you solve. Okay. Okay. Equation will be like this. Find differentiable function, find del z del y. So again, bring to the left, then see the question they ask del z del y, which means negative fy over fz. Fy from here, differentiate respect to y, your x and z will be constant. So to differentiate this, you just substitute sign with cos. The differentiate inside will be 2. Z will be 0, this is 0. X will be cos x. Z. With respect to z, which means x and y are constant. Here just remain, but we have 5 here. 5 will be cos. So this will be 0. This will be cos will be negative sign, so that's why they're changing the sign. Differentiate cos xz, differentiate inside this. Yes. Okay. Any question for this? I think this is easy, right? Any question? Profile derivatives to part 2. So here we will learn about the increment and total differential, rate of change, local extreme, absolute. You will see how. Increments and total differential. So do everyone have get this note? Do you have this note? Hello?
I have, Doctor. Yes, we got the notes.
Okay, good. So increment and total differential for the function z, if x increases by delta x, y increases by delta y, then z will increase by delta z, where actual increment will be del z is fx plus delta x plus y delta y, comma, minus fxy. So from the differentiable function, we know that fx equals to fx del x, or this is like differentiable of f, the definition. Okay. So if you add these two, you will get del z. Okay. So actually the most important part is this, or this. It's the same. So this will be your del z. Del z will be, so you have what you have to know. You don't need to know this. You don't need to know the derivation because you're in engineering section. So you just have to know that del x x del z f x dx dx or del x. Okay, del x also. Del x plus f okay, you have to know this. So this will be your actual increment. For actual increment, you have to use this. If the del x approaches 0, del y approaches 0, del x will denote as dx. Increment in del y as dy. Increment in del z will be dz. So the dz is known the differential of z. Therefore, del z will be equals to dz. Okay, this is in some situation you have to use equal. Okay, but what you have to know is, okay, approximate increment of del z will be this, x del x plus fy dy. Suppose z is function of xy, fx, fy exists. We will make sure this exists, don't worry. If del x and del y are increment of x and y, then approximate increment. The approximate increment of del z of z is given by this. So approximate, not actual. Okay. Okay, last time I say actual, right? No, this is approximate. Approximate formula will be like this, and total differential will be fx dx, fy dy. So they just different in del and d only. Okay, and for the actual is this. Okay, you will confuse. This will be so. Okay, I just copy del there. Subscript, it is big. X plus delta x, y plus delta y, yes, xy. Okay, this is actual. Okay, this is actual increment. Remember. Okay, then what else? Formula and then you have approximate increment. Okay, approximate increment. This is approximate increment or approximate change. Okay, another one is this total differential dz d plus fy. This is total differential. Okay, so make sure you have know these three formula. You have to know these three formula only. You don't need to know derive. You don't need to derive this formula. You just have to memorize this formula. Okay. Okay, if you have more than two independent variables, it's just the same. For approximate increment, you just add another one variable. Okay. Here, this is approximate increment. So this here, right? It's here. So which means, let's say I have W and of X. I mean del W for approximate increment will be Fx del X plus Fy del Y plus Fz. So the total differential will be del W Fx dx plus Fy. Okay. Okay. If Fx is 2x squared y plus y cubed, xy changes from 1.2 to 1.1, 1.01, 1.98. They find approximate change. Okay, remember the formula of approximate change. What is it? Yeah, right? So the formula will be fx dx, y dy. Approximate change, where is it? Here, right? Fx dx, fy dy. Okay? So what you can do is, you just apply the formula. This is for actual change, because the question asks you to do the approximate change and actual change. So when you have the approximate change, okay, you have to find fx, fy, dx, dy. Okay? So they are look like same because everything are the same, just del and d. So to find dx and dy, you have to minus these two because you have changed that. There's a changing in 0, 1. See, 1 to 1.01, 2 to 1.98, which means there is a difference in 0.01 for dx, because this is x and this is y. So your y will have difference negative 0.02. Okay. So you just substitute this dx with 0.01, and this dy will change to negative 0.02. Substitute this dy with 0.02. So the formula is you have to minus the bigger one. No, the change one to the original one. 1.01 minus 1, 1.98 minus 2. Then you get 0.02 and 0.0. Okay, how about the actual change? Actual change, you have to use the formula as I told you before. This. Okay. Yeah, this. Okay. So fx plus del x, y plus del y minus fxy. So 1.1, 1.98 is the change variable. This x is 0.01, 1.98. Just substitute directly to this equation. 2 times with 1.01 squared times with 1.98 plus 1.98 cube minus fxy 1.2 when it is 1.2. You don't need to add 1.1 to 1 with 1. Just substitute directly because this is the change. This is already changed to 1.01 and 1. So don't get confused. Then if you see here, the actual change will be negative 0.18. It is slightly lower than the approximate change. So in this manner, approximate change is same as the total potential, nearly same. That's why you can use this formula or this formula, because the only difference is del and d only del and d. Okay, can you see next example? fxy, if xy changes from 1. Okay, you see 1 change to 0.98. 2 change to, they already changed here. But to find dx, you have to minus 0. To find dy, you have to take 2.01 minus 2. Don't worry if it's negative. So approximate change means you have to find the total differential. So fx dx, the formula will be, okay, we have now xy, right? So formula will be fx dx, fy dy. So you know how to differentiate this. You have to use the product rule because we have two functions here. You can differentiate this by your own. And the dx must be minus from right to left. Okay? Change one. So one will be negative, one will be positive. So just substitute. Then you get the answer. Okay? Your x here and y here should be 1 and 2. So that's why they put 1 and 2. Okay, okay. Can everyone follow? Can, okay. Rate of change. So I think you have learned this before. Okay, but for this, you have to understand the volume of the gas is reduced, of a gas is related to its temperature, pressure. That's why we have PV equals to 20. P is measured in cube, P is pound square, T is degree Celsius. If T is kept constant to 100, the rate of change of pressure. So pressure will be 10 P over V. So they give you the T and V. Okay. They ask you to find rate of pressure with respect to volume at B50. at B50. So they ask you to find change in P respect to B. So I think it's easy, right? Just differentiate. Okay, you bring this to the top, you differentiate first, and then you just substitute. So this is easy. Direct question, very direct. They gave you B, they gave you the P also, 200. You just substitute. Okay? Okay. Local extrema. The loop is not reverse. Okay, do you want me to continue or you want to continue this tomorrow? How is it? Is it enough for today? Fatia, okay, thank you, Fatia. So we will stop
Thank
here.
you.
Now it is
Thank you.
9:30, so you can rest for a while. Okay, you can take your breakfast. Okay, we will continue our class tomorrow.